Good morning from a sunny Thailand, from Retied and Living the Dream, and today it's another washing the car day. As I say, we've just got over Songkran and we just come back from patio, so the car got a drenching and powder all over the car. So we're off to Play's farm tomorrow. So I'm going to give it a wash and ready to go, make sure everything's ready to go to Karat, which is a 7-hour drive from our house. It's like everything else, checking the car before we go, and the car wouldn't start this morning because the battery has gone flat. So what's today's subject about? It's about for me, the 5 most dangerous things moving over here to Thailand and how to avoid them and basically don't do it. So my biggest thing that I would say, I've been here for 12 years altogether, and I've seen many things, and these for me are the top 5 dangerous things that one can do when they come over to Thailand. And for me, the number one thing that I see people do, and I'll give an example or so in a minute, is drinking and driving. Drinking and driving over here is so prevalent. It happens absolutely everywhere. And in the Western country, it is frowned upon, drinking and driving. But over here, the chances of getting caught are very slim. So because the chances of getting caught are very slim, more and more people do it. And for me, it's wrong. Now, I was a firefighter in the UK for a number of years, for 30 years, and I went to numerous car traffic accidents where drink driving was involved, and it isn't a pretty result. So that times that by Thailand, drinking and driving on motorcycles is the number 1 killer in Thailand. Drinking and driving and riding a motorcycle. 2 deadly things to do over here in Thailand. So I know I'm going to get people to say, yeah, okay, but it won't happen to me because I won't drink too much. And you know where it's like 1 drink will lead to 2, and then 2 till 3 and things like that. So I don't drink and drive. For me, if I decide to go with some friends and we're having a party or something like that, I'll book a cheap hotel for the night. You can get a cheap hotel for about between 700 and 1,000 baht. So you go and have a good drink, and without worry of getting home and things like that, and stay in a cheap hotel for the night. Sleep it off and go home in the morning. That's what my advice is to people, because one day your luck will run out and you will be involved in an accident, and it's not a pretty sight with regard to accidents here in Thailand. Costly, and going to hurt you. So motorcycles are the biggest injury over here for people to get injured. And as silly as it sounds, I see it every day. These are the top 5 things that I would say are the most dangerous things here in Thailand. It's my opinion, but stick in the comments if you think I'm wrong. So motorcycles. What about those people who think they can hire a scooter and everything's going to be okay? Because it's easy riding a scooter, isn't it? It's just like a twist and go. If you can ride a bicycle, you can ride a scooter. No, you can't. So add this on top of everything else. Scooters are very dangerous, because a lot of people have probably never ridden a scooter before they come here to Thailand, and they think it's easy to do. And it can be easy. It can be easy to ride a scooter, but I would say if you're going to thinking about riding a scooter, get your license in your home country before you come here, or take your test and get the license over here for riding a scooter. Because if you have an accident on a scooter over here and you haven't got the license, I think you might find that your insurance is invalid as well, because you haven't got the proper license to drive the motorcycle. So that's just another risk, isn't it, you're going to be taking. Driving a scooter, having a few beers, and what's the next thing? He says. Well, I think you can guess what the next thing is, because we're talking about scooters. The most dangerous thing, I think, here in Thailand is riding a scooter without a helmet. Driving a scooter without a helmet, it is mandatory to wear helmets here in Thailand. If you don't wear a helmet, you're breaking the law, he says. But how many people do you see riding a helmet? Is it nice to ride a motorcycle without a helmet? Yes, it is. Have I done it? Yes, I did. But not for very long. Because when you see the amount of accidents on the roads here, the most precious thing on your body is your head. You can mend a broken leg, you can fix a broken arm, you can fix most things in your body, but knock your head on the ground and that's it, you're gone, there's no more. So therefore, look after your head. It's the most important part of your body. Without your head, nothing else is going to work. So that is motorcycles. So that sort of covers a lot of the categories about dangerous things over here. And I'll give you an example. There was one guy and he was from America, and he came across here. He liked his alcohol, and I said to him, don't drink and drive because you'll have an accident. And it was like, oh yeah. Anyway, a few weeks went by and he had an accident because he was drunk. He was drunk. And he thought he was back in America. He was riding on the wrong side of the road and he hit the truck. And he ended up having 2 toes amputated because of this motorbike accident. So that affected him for the rest of his life, didn't it? But his life didn't last for very long. He's sadly passed away now. And what was that through? Alcohol, drinking too much. You can't mix alcohol and motorbikes over here, or motorbikes and cars. Ready, get up! So you can't mix alcohol and driving a vehicle, although many Thai people do. And it is crazy. But it's one of them things you've got to, you can't do nothing about it. Just don't go along with the crowd and join in with the drinking and driving. You might get the feeling that I'm against drinking and driving. I am, because it destroys so many lives, drinking and driving. Soy dogs. This is one of the other dangerous things of living here in Thailand. Soy dogs. They are not the little beautiful animals that you maybe have at home, friendly dogs and things like that. They are very territorial and they can snap at you at the whim, if you like. If they just take a disliking to you or something like that, they can bite you. And rabies is still here in Thailand. So if you get bit by a soy dog, a monkey or a cat or a squirrel or anything over here, you've got to go and have your rabies injections. And that can be quite expensive, 13,000 baht to get your rabies and vaccine. And there's about 8 or 9 injections that you've got to have. And it's not painless. It hurts, because my wife was bit by a soy dog, so she had to go and have the rabies injections done. So I know it because my wife had to go through that process. So soy dogs, cats, leave them well alone, and don't confuse waggy tails as friendly dogs. Just stay away from them. for soy dogs, because they can hurt you for sure. If you are a little bit infirm and advancing ages, like we all do, the majority of retired expats who live here are the older folks. They don't, here in Thailand, sort of care for walkways and pathways and things like that. They are so badly maintained, and it's easy to have an accident. Again, to say, just walking around, you've got to watch where your footing goes for all the time, because it's so easy to trip over potholes and walkways and things like that. And going on to that, you know, the zebra crossings, they have zebra crossings over here. Do the Thais make any notice of it? No, they don't. So if you think that you're safe on a crosswalk or crossway, then you're not. You've still got to have your wits about you, because the Thais don't want to stop. They want to get from A to B as quick as they can, and if you're in the road, then you know you might end up being knocked over by them. If you get knocked over on a zebra crossing, they can be in a lot of trouble, because there is some sort of law about using crosswalks and things like that. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to test that law, would you? So no matter where you are, walking on the streets, this is what you've got to do. You've got to be ultra careful. Don't let me put you off coming to Thailand. It all sounds very drastic, doesn't it? It all sounds very scary. But if you have this in mind, then you're okay. If you're prepared for what might happen, then there you go. Being prepared and understanding as to what you have to look out for and the dangers, then it works. You can have a safe trip here, you can have a safe holiday here, and you've got to leave your Western ways behind. I used to be guilty of that when I first came here. Oh, in England we'd be doing this, and in England we'd be doing that. They wouldn't be allowed to do this. And my girlfriend at the time said, "You don't live in England. This is Thailand." And of course she was correct. Whether you like it or don't, this is Thailand. They will live by their rules, and their rules alone. You can whinge and moan about it all the time, but are they going to change it? Not at all. Not for you or anybody else, because it's their rules. Now we're in hot season. This is the hottest part of the year. You might say I'm sweating here and just washing the car. Not exactly a strenuous exercise, is it? But it heat stroke. Keeping the amount of fluids up, and that doesn't mean alcohol, because if you drink alcohol, it actually works counterintuitive, and it actually makes you sweat more, and you can lose a lot more sweat and bodily fluid by drinking beer. But hey ho, water is the way. And before, I used in England, I never ever drank water, but over here I drink buckets of it. Because you've got to, because you just dehydrate otherwise. So heat stroke is a very important thing over here. Avoid going out or doing any strenuous work in the heat. I cut the grass when the sun goes down about 4 or 5 o'clock or something like that. I cut the grass yesterday. I do not work in the sun, because it absolutely can kill you. And again, if you're a little bit overweight or a little bit unhealthy or something like that, it can cause a lot of illness because of what it does to your body. Have a look on the internet what heat stroke is. Recognise the signs: dizziness, You can't think straight, things like that. And if you even feel any of them type of things, then you just have a drink of water, sit down and wait until it passes. Because it will pass. I mean, I've done some silly things, you know, through the hot season. You think, I'm okay, I'm sort of invincible, but no, you're not. Even I suffer in this hot season. And it's hot all the time in Thailand. As my wife says, there's 3 seasons, hot, and even hotter. And she's correct. You know, air conditioning is great, but when you're walking out in the sun and things like that, it can play havoc on your senses and things like that. And if you're this far into the video, thanks very much for watching. Leave your comments down below, and if you've got any other suggestions, or if you disagree with what I have to say, please leave it in the comments. I always read the comments and I always answer the comments. Now, as I say, we're going up to the wife's farm for the next week or so. So I'm going to not do any videos or publish them for the next week because the internet isn't very good up there. So I'll be a week away, and I'll make a couple of videos with regard to a couple of things in Thailand. Now, I've done a video on frozen state pensions for the British. And I had a very interesting conversation with one of the Department of Work and Pensions yesterday. I was on the phone for an hour, and it was sort of a bit of a heated discussion. But then she put me on hold and she said, I need to confirm this with my colleagues. And then the tune was totally different when she came back because she knew I was right in what I was saying. And that's what I'm saying, that the Department of Work and Pensions don't sing by the same hymn sheet. It's, you know, it's what they think is correct. And in this case, they were wrong. But I'm going to do another video about that, because it is important, because I've done a video with regard to how you can claim the extra state pension, because if you live in a non-reciprocal country, it is frozen. There are ways around it, but the ways around it can be complicated, and you're going to get a load of feedback from the Department of Work and Pensions. You have to fight for the money. So thanks very much for watching. From Les Retied and Living the Dream, till the next time, bye for now.